From silence to success. In a small and quiet village, nestled between rolling hills and difficult roads, lived a young girl named Amira. She hadn't been able to finish her studies. The school was too far away, and her family situation was difficult. Her world was small, defined by the dusty paths she walked every day and the familiar faces of her neighbors. She felt a deep sense of isolation, a quiet loneliness that settled in her heart like dust. She knew there was a huge world beyond her village, a world of different ideas and amazing cultures, but from her small corner of the earth, it all felt as distant and unreachable as the stars. How could a girl like her ever hope to see it? Her father worked in a nearby town and was the only person in the village with a smartphone. Every evening, when he returned, tired from his long day, the phone was Amira's only window to that bigger world. She would wait patiently for him, her heart filled with anticipation for the few precious minutes he would let her use it. One evening, as she scrolled through online videos, she found something different. It was a story being read aloud, but the language was strange and new to her. It was English. She didn't understand a single word, but she was completely captivated. The rhythm of the words and the calm melody of the speaker's voice felt like beautiful music. From that day forward, Amira had a secret mission. Every evening, she would find that same story and listen to it again. At first, the English words were just a stream of pleasant sounds, but she was determined. She listened so many times that the sounds started to separate into individual words in her mind. She found an old, empty notebook and a pencil. This became her personal dictionary. When she heard a word that was repeated often, like sun or river or love, she would write it down. She tried to guess its meaning from the tone of the story, whispering the words to herself, trying to copy the speaker's pronunciation. It was a slow, difficult puzzle, but she was starting to find the pieces. What began as a nightly habit soon blossomed into a deep and driving passion. These sessions with her father's phone were changing her. With every new word she learned, a little more of the world opened up, and her confidence began to grow. She started to believe in herself in a way she never had before. Soon, she wasn't just hearing words, she was understanding whole sentences. The story was about a woman who traveled the world, and through the narrator's voice, Amira traveled with her. She realized that language was a bridge, a way to connect her small, isolated village to everywhere else. Her loneliness began to fade, replaced by a powerful sense of purpose. But she knew one story wasn't enough. She started selling vegetables at the local market, saving every coin she earned. Finally, she had enough to buy her own simple, used smartphone. The moment she turned it on, her world exploded with new possibilities. It was all hers. She discovered websites with free videos made for people who wanted to learn English. She spent hours watching them, practicing her speaking and learning grammar. She found online forums where people from different countries discussed books and ideas. She was terrified to participate, but she knew she had to try. Gathering all her courage, she wrote a short, simple comment. Her fingers trembled as she hit post. To her amazement, someone replied. A real person from a different part of the world was talking to her. This small interaction felt like a massive victory. It proved she could do it. She kept practicing, and soon her simple sentences turned into short paragraphs about her life and her dreams. With her new skills, Amira's confidence soared. She found a website where writers from all over the world published their own articles. Maybe I can do that too, she thought. She decided to share her own journey, writing an article about how her father's phone and a single English story had completely changed her life. To her astonishment, people read it. Then they shared it. Strangers left comments of encouragement and support, telling her she had inspired them. She realized she had a voice, and people wanted to hear it. She continued to write, sharing more of her experiences and the lessons she learned along the way. One morning, an email appeared in her inbox that would change her life forever. It was from a company that had read her articles. They were so impressed with her writing that they offered her a job as a freelance writer for their website. A real job earning money for her words felt like an impossible dream come true. She accepted immediately and poured her heart into the work. Soon, she was earning a steady income, more money than she had ever seen. After a year of hard work, the young woman who once felt trapped in her village had saved enough to buy a small, comfortable house in the city. She was ready for her next chapter. The very first thing Amira did was bring her parents to live with her, giving them a comfortable life free from the struggles of the past. They looked at their daughter, now a successful young woman, with incredible pride. She had become a symbol of hope for her entire village. But Amira never forgot where she came from. She bought several small tablets, filled them with educational apps and audiobooks, and sent them back to the girls in her village. She wanted every one of them to know that their world could be as big as they dared to dream. In the city, Amira's life continued to blossom. She met a kind and intelligent man who was also a writer, and they fell in love, sharing a passion for learning and making a difference. She continued her career, writing stories that inspired people around the world. Her life was full and happy, a perfect blend of love, knowledge, and giving back. The young girl who started in silence had found her voice and used it to build a life of success and purpose. Every language begins with a story. If you loved this one, subscribe and share your thoughts below.